Hi everybody. We have a kiln opening later, but we wanted to show you a little bit of how we can play with these trays that we purchased at HomeGoods last week. We showed you how excited we were that we purchased them, and we we're going to put these 3 different motifs. They're all Vermont Pottery rolling pins. This is our turtle. This is our leaf. And this one, probably upside down to you, sorry, is our Halloween. So we're going to put each one of these
with the slab that's ready.
Yeah, we're going to roll the rolling pin into the slab and then put them into the trays and then cut up the edges. So
join us.
Watch us do this.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. Okay, we are going to roll our... Can you push against there so I have some leverage? Thank you. This particular rolling pin needs pressure enough to get a nice image. The tray itself is going to be larger.
Show you it the right way.
Than what I rolled out
because of the
already.
direction the rolling pin is made.
Yeah,
it has to go this way. The other ones will be going the other way.
So you won't get much of that other seam, but we need to make sure that there's pattern on both sides, and that's not bad for that seam there. Now I'm going to lift it because a lot of times it gets stuck on the countertop we work with, and then I'm going to lay it in here and I'm going to work it in. I'm going to work it in on both, all the way around it. And if you look, the seam is here and it's a little bit different here. I'm not unhappy with it. We couldn't press this out a little bit.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
But
you
I
won't
think,
even really notice.
Yeah, it won't exactly. Don't get a whole lot. You probably will lose part of the skull here. Sometimes I look at the
placement of where the
where the pin is in relationship. Does it read right? Do you see what's here?
It is upside down, but
for you guys it is upside down, but for me I have
it.
to work on it. Okay, so the next thing that I would do on this particular pin is with my finger I'm feeling the tray below, I'm cutting in, and I'm bringing it out, and a lot of times I'll just pick it out as I go.
This tray has the weird edges, so it's going to be a lot of little cuts.
Yeah, little cuts.
Usually if it's a smoother edge, it's just a couple cuts, but not this many.
But I don't want to pull up on it, so I want it to be really smooth for my portion of the work on the edge. I go around, not necessarily super fancy, because I know that somebody else will come in and clean it.
Somebody else being me.
That's your job. I will happily roll it. Oh, there we go. This looks pretty good. So it doesn't mean that I have to have it super perfect when I cut it, because what'll happen from here is it'll sit until the clay gets a little harder, and then the edges, we call it clean. What that really
different kinds of cleaning, but
yes, we clean in different ways. Emily will take a sponge and a knife, and she'll actually make that edge on the
so it looks very rough right now.
Very rough right now. Let me turn it around so you can actually see the image.
Cool.
So that's the first one.
Yeah, that looks really good.
We are going to make our second one of these, and I'm going to use our leaf rolling pin. Again, this rolling pin came from Vermont Pottery Works. My cart is on wheels. I want to keep a good pressure throughout the roll so that it gives me a nice texture. And so
imprint.
I am pushing against my slab roller all the way along. So now I have a nice impression. If you look at the leaves, you've seen this in one of our finished pieces. We usually like to paint it in the brown, and then we'll actually paint the leaves of the in different colors, and I think it really comes out great. So this is the leaf again from HomeGoods that we purchased last week. Little shake up, we use Pam because Pam's our friend. Pam's a great release on our trays to allow that clay to not completely stick. She gets pretty annoyed.
Do you
when
want to cut
sticks.
it before you cut a little bit off the last time?
I could do that. Why not?
It's a little big.
I'm gonna find a little knife. Ooh, here's a knife. Why don't we use this one? Okay, so I can pull this off up here. Okay. Now, I am going to do a little bit of lifting. A lot of times if my where I'm working is it's wet, as you can see, it's a little wet underneath there. I have to work it off to make it so that it doesn't actually stick. Exactly. Okay. And
I'll
again,
got it?
yeah, okay. I'm gonna work it in this piece because I know that it'll fit all the way down here. I'm gonna give it a nice cut off because that cut off there can become something else. Just never know. I'm going to go ahead and do our third one. This is the turtle rolling pin. You got to put a lot of pressure on this. I use my hands. I never use the handles. They make sense, but not when you want to get as much pressure directly on the clay that I do. So this is kind of how that rolled out. Again, I've used my Pam on my tray, so it's all ready for us to transfer it. Gonna lift it a little bit, make sure it's nice and off of the top. And I'm going to adjust it to where I want it, which isn't bad right there. Tuck it in nicely, making sure that there's no gaps, no air, because sometimes air will hide underneath there when you put it on, and you kind of have to lift that air out. Okay, now we're just going to go ahead and trim up this one like we did the other two. The funny part here is that Emily trimmed the last
I trimmed
one.
the second one, and that's not easy. The edges are so weird.
They are, and you don't expect which way they're going.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of, sometimes I'll just give her a little extra clay.
Yeah, that's helpful. Not too much, but enough that it...
Well, it doesn't change the way that it sits. So like this piece is just too far out.
Yeah.
There's too much here. And then I'll let me get this side. So once we have the trays trimmed into this shape, which is so very much of a pain in the rear end.
You just cut this off.
Sure.
It's too much. Goes down.
It's too much. Yeah. Sometimes I'll actually take them and flip them over so that I can actually get a better. But because this is has a dip in it, doesn't work real well. So
Can we see them next to each other?
Sure.
Before we put them away.
So here are the 3 trays. They don't really look like leaves, do they? Because now we've kind of created them with these wild edges. Don't forget that we will play around with them in different forms, in different stages. But what we will do next is place them into one of our tubs. We use these tubs that we buy at Target, I believe.
Not gonna all fit.
Oh, no.
No, too long.
I'll probably have to move
Move
something. These tubs from Target with a piece of a 1-inch foam that are wet, we can close them, and they pretty much could last for quite some time.
Trays in there. These are we just mainly do with the smaller trays. The bigger ones we have a different system.
Yeah, this is how these trays get stored so that we can keep them wet till Emily's ready to do her next stage. So that was just a little bit on those trays that we brought home from HomeGoods. Just wanted to fill you in, and don't forget. Oh wait, maybe we should just do a sneak peek. Let's go. It's nice and cold. Not right now. We're not opening it now because we're not quite ready. But
What's in there? Oh, no more.
oh my goodness.
Wow, there's some cool stuff up there.
Nice things on top. All right. Not till later. You can't see that. All right. Thank you for joining us for our little funny video on those trays we bought from HomeGoods. Guess what? HomeGoods has a members only opening early on
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, actually.
We are going Friday.
Meaning, like, if you have their card.
Right. You can go in and enter for a, whatever.
$5 gift card.
$5 gift card.
Yeah.
You get to see what the season, and Emily's really hoping it's Christmas, but I have a pretty strong feeling it's not. What they have in the way of trays. So it's just a fun little outing. So we're going on Friday. So anyway, bye-bye.